Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Rama Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. C'est necessary that mic is new. We should not speculate. Hare Krishna. Expert. What is materialism? Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj speaks about this topic, material life. So what is materialism is the question. Those whose only assets are their material senses, who hoist the flag of self by bragging even though they are covered with illusory sensual knowledge, who sew a network of arguments while maintaining themselves as sense gratifiers, and who try to imagine their transcendental objects from their mundane platform, are gross materialists. Oh, this is packed in a few words, very intense. But he explains further. There are two parts of the part of oral reception and the part of argument. So the part of oral reception is if we learn by hearing, and the other part is the part of argument. We try to argue and to it will be explained. The part of oral reception is called the descending part, and the part of argument is called the ascending part. So the oral reception, it is coming from up to down, from the higher sphere, from the transcendental sphere, up to down. And the part of argument is called the ascending part. On the descending part, one renders service to the transcendental Lord by hearing. Whereas on the ascending part, one manipulates his senses to gain expertise in material science. Means we want to attain it by example, by material science. We want to develop our progress in this life. By the argument, when the sun rays enter our eyes, we are accepting the sun's help to see the sun. We are seeing the sun by the transcending process, or by the descending process. When we renounce the sun's help, try to see the sun by some independent means, perhaps taking the help of an artificial light, we fail to see the sun. This is the ascending method. So Ravana adopted this process, as do other godless people. Materialists tend to be casual and covert logicians. Simply by taking shelter of Sri Krishna's lotus feet with sincerity and renouncing the material concept of life, we will be able to understand Krishna's life and will personally practice devotional service by Guru and Krishna's mercy. This pure knowledge we have to understand with pure mind. So what is mental speculation or mental speculator? Mental speculators are those who dare to attack the absolute truth in a challenging mood. Mental speculation, the part of argument, is the opposite to what is taught in the Bhagavad Gita. There are two kinds of people. Those who want to become inclined towards Krishna by hearing from a bona fide spiritual master who glorifies the absolute truth, and those who want to challenge the transcendental absolute truth on the strength of the knowledge they have gained through their senses. The former is the autorist, the ascending path of disciplic succession, and the later is the path of argumentation. So whatever is accepted directly is the path of disciplic succession, and whatever is accepted indirectly is the path of argumentation. So the 5 types of philosophical work, darshanas, are based on argument. Only the Vedanta darshan has accepted the autorist path of disciplic succession in order to bewilder ordinary people. Shankaracharya has mixed argument into the Vedanta darshan and confused it with the descending path. One becomes a mental speculator when he enhances his material knowledge, even while apparently pursuing spiritual understanding. So Vaishnavas do not concoct or speak from their imagination. Rather, they lead people to the Guru's lotus feet. They are not 5 or 10 spiritual masters. Guru is one And the absolute truth requires no challenge from anyone. So why have the living entities become conditioned? The living entities have become conditioned because they misuse their free will. So, and what does the Bhagavad Gita verse beginning Ishvara Sarvabhutanam mean? Srila Prabhupada says, this verse confirms that Lord Vishnu alone is the controller and director of all living entities. The Supreme Lord rewards everyone according to their respective karma. The living entities are the cause of their own activities. And the Supreme Lord is the director. As the director, the Supreme Lord is not responsible, directly or indirectly, for the karmic activities the living entities perform, or the fruits they then become eligible to enjoy. The Supreme Lord gives the fruits of karma, and the living entities enjoy them. So we are unfortunate. So we have become busy in activities other than the Lord's service. Somehow or other we are not able to understand that our only duty is to serve the Lord. Therefore we give more importance to other activities than to the Lord's service. Even though we repeatedly associate with devotees, we are unable to remove this misconception. Since we are averse to the Lord, our tendency is to become conditioned by Maya, to fall for Maya's temptations, and to work like asses, to accumulate wealth, to gratify the sense of our wives, children, and relatives, whom we will never meet again. We plant mango trees, we buy movable and immovable assets, but people we will never meet will enjoy the fruits of these purchases. So we work so hard to earn money, but someone else will spend it indiscriminately. What an illusion. Any question? Yes. The question is, don't the smartas worship Lord Vishnu? Smartas means the, professional brahmanas who are following the Kamakanta path. The smartas worship of Vishnu is part of their worship of demigods such as Ganesh, Surya, Durga, etc. It does not amount to worship the Supreme Vessel of Godhead. Worshipping Vishnu as if he were one of the 5 demigods means one considers him one of the demigods. Such worship is both offensive and atheistic. Shastra states, Yastu Narayanam Devam Brahma Rudradi Daivadai Samatvena Iva Viksheta Sapasandi Pavitruvam. One who considers Lord Vishnu to be in the same category with the demigods, like Lord Brahma or Lord Shiva, or who thinks Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva to be equal to Lord Vishnu, is to be considered a prashandi, a faithless non-believer. So atheistic Hindus do not consider Krishna's holy name both the ultimate goal of life and the perfect means to achieve it. They consider Krishna equal to the demigods, and Krishna's holy name equal to fruitive activities such as yajna, tapasya, yoga, meditation, and observing vows. Mahaprabhu said, Koti Ashvamedha Eka Krishna Nam Sama Eka Hesha Bashandi Tanditarayama. Oh, Krishna. One who says that 10 million Ashvamedha sacrifices are equal to the chanting of the holy name of Lord Krishna is undoubtedly an atheist. He is sure to be punished by Yamaraja. So worship of Vishnu is the course of worshipping the five gods. In the course of worshipping the five gods does not please Lord Vishnu. It is simply demigod worship and therefore improper. So why do some people instruct us to increase the mode of passion? The mode of passion should be increased. This is what unfortunate people say. Still people in the world, marketplace, accept such a foolish and unreasonable statement as if it is represented great charity towards human society. Srimad Bhagavatam states, one should destroy the mode of ignorance with the help of the mode of passion. The mode of passion with the help of the mode of goodness. In the mode of mixed goodness with the help of pure goodness. Those who favor increasing the mode of passion either think the mode of pure goodness to be the mode of ignorance or some temporary material mode. Thus they consider impersonal, transcendental, the material modes, transcendental to the material modes. At present, people in this world are busy pursuing childish religions. People with animalistic propensities do not understand anything other than their own sense gratification. The thirst for sense gratification appears in four forms. Religiosity. If you are in this material world and so-called religious, this is because we have desire for sense gratification. It means it is Ketapatama, or cheating religion. And after this religiosity, you become biased, you pray to the demigods. Give me this, give me this. Economic development will come. You will get, by business, by working by different methods, economically you will increase your capacity to get something in this material world. And then afterwards comes sense gratification. Then you want to enjoy the fruits of your work, of your desire. And then after many, many births working like this, you come to the conclusion, I want to get free from this. Liberation. Moksha. I want to renounce all these things. It did not make me happy. So I want to have peace. So still this mentality is there. I want to enjoy. I want to enjoy this peace and harmony. These are not limbs of devotional service. So all these things, religiosity, economic development, sense cultivation, liberation, moksha, these are not limbs of devotional service. Among them, the first three fall into the category of bhakti. Bhakti means sense enjoyment. And then bhakti, material enjoyment. And the last is the fiercest form of sense gratification. It is mukti. To get free from all this. Liberation. Liberation in the form of attaining complete freedom from all types of material misery is nothing but the thirst for happiness or sense gratification. So, what is the fate of a person who, instead of utilizing his wealth for the Lord's service, uses it for his children and grandchildren? So what is the fate of those people? If we do not properly use the wealth God gives us, it means we have failed to understand a simple truth. How unfortunate we are. Those who whimsically spend their wealth on various sinful activities will certainly end up in hell. So when a living entity who is averse to the Lord falls down, in what species does he first take birth? The living entity averse to the Lord first becomes Brahma. So, when we fall down from the transcendental plane, we fall down and become Brahma. Brahma means now we want to imitate God. We want to create our universe. And then a human being. The fallen souls first become Brahma in order to enjoy Maya. Many living entities took birth as Brahma's sons. Among them, a number were entrusted with the responsibility to create progeny. As soon as the living entity proudly considers himself an enjoyer, he becomes conditioned by Maya. While trying to become the Lord of Maya in the material kingdom, he ends up as her servant. He becomes the servant of Maya. And this is the condition of all those who live in this material world. We think we are the masters, but we are forced to work. We are forced to get sick. So we want to serve our senses, and our expansions, our children, grandchildren, our family, our country, or whatever. So we think we are masters, but in reality we are servants. So politicians are also servants. They're supposed to be, but they think they are the controllers. But they are supposed to be the servants of the people they are in the country, or for them they become responsible. Still they want to become the controllers. They do not understand they are servants. And now this chaos, all this chaos and fights was going on. Is just because they do not accept we are always servants. We are serving our belly, our tongue, our ears, our genitals. We are serving all the time. We are working hard for enjoying these things. So what you serve? Maya, you serve Maya, illusion. But you think you are the controller, you are the Lord. This is Maya. So, as soon as the living entity proudly considers himself an enjoyer, he becomes conditioned by Maya. While trying to become the Lord of Maya in the material kingdom, he ends up as her servant. Why do we like material existence? We are born to suffer. If we cause anxiety to the spiritual master and the Vaishnavas who are not ordinary like us, the spiritual master and the Vaishnavas are by nature harder than the thunderbolt and softer than a flower. We must take utmost care when dealing with Vishnu's devotees. We must not play any trick on the spiritual master or the Vaishnavas. Such a behavior would be most dangerous. Unless one gladly follows the spiritual master's order, one cannot call himself a disciple. If one gives up the lifestyle and rules and regulations of the mat, one is bound to become a materialist. If one does not realize the importance of living in the mat, serving the mat and fulfilling the spiritual master's mission, one will suddenly become a materialist. A mat is not different from Vaikuntha. And this material world is just like a gateway to hell. As soon as a living entity turns his face away from the Lord's mercy, he falls down to material existence. Srimad Bhagavatam states, Anya pritata karananishi nishayana Nanamanavata diya Krishna pakna nitra Devahatata rajana rishayo bideva Yasmat prasanga vimukha Yasam sarandi. Such non-devotees engage their senses in very troublesome and extensive work, and they suffer insomnia at night because their intelligence constantly breaks their sleeps with various mental speculations. They are frustrated in all their various plans by supernatural power. Even great sages, if they are against your transcendental topics, must rotate in this material world. The constant endeavor to please Krishna is called devotional service. Actually, we have no duty other than to please Krishna at all times. All perfection is achieved simply by chanting the Lord's holy name. We cannot serve the Lord without serving the holy name. If we can become servants of Krishna, we will attain the ultimate goal of life. But if we serve Maya, no one can protect us from misfortune. Is any question on these topics? Anybody heard what I spoke? Hare Krishna. Chaitanya. This last question we will hear the answer of. Why does a person who once properly motivated developed material attachment after some time? Why? This person must not have heard Harikatha to do in attention while hearing. He has not tried at all to refrain from seeking immediate happiness. Rather, he is maddened for sense gratification of the advice of sinful people. The most important thing is to take shelter of the Supreme Lord. It does not matter whether we are educated or uneducated, powerful or weak. The living entities are transcendental by nature. But when they think they belong to this world, consisting of these three material modes, they become attached to this world. So wealth, women and fame are each paid for the senses. The conditioned souls are attracted to material enjoyment at every moment, because Maya is constantly abusing us by showing us the paid, tempting us with a woman's association. So Maya entangles us in this material world, just as a hunter captures a wild male elephant by luring him with a female elephant. So the living entities wander throughout the universe, seeing illusory objects as real and miserable existence as happy. Maya has arranged for some momentary happiness in this world in order to deceive the living entities. Whatever we see in this world that tempt us for sense gratifications are all Maya's baids. Anyone who tries to enjoy them will be deceived, will be pierced. Eat, drink, be merry, and go to hell. This mentality has swallowed human society. What a shame. When one falls down from the position of Krishna's devotee, he becomes a devotee of Vishnu. When he falls down further, he becomes an impersonalist. Still further, he becomes a fruitive worker. And finally, an unrestricted sense enjoyer. I am the enjoyer of this material world. This is a sinful mentality. This mentality brings about one's ruination, that one is a servant of the Supreme Lord is the proper mentality. Why do the living entities who are meant for service serve the Supreme Lord proudly think themselves doers? It is a fact that the living entity is neither the master nor the enjoyer, but because he has forgotten Krishna, his false ego has become prominent. Thus he thinks himself the master. The living entities are by nature the Lord's servants. As soon as they forget this, Maya captures and devours them. Unless one sees all objects in relation to the Lord, one cannot help but be misguided by the conception that he is the master. Then he suffers miseries as he busily serves matter. So devotees always serve the Supreme Lord. Their conviction that they are the Lord's servant is prominent in their consciousness. Non-devotees pretending to be master of the material energy suffer only anxiety. Only those whose knowledge of transcendence has not been awakened accept service as a master. Glorious are those who, rather than becoming masters, serve the Lord's devotees. Okay, no question. Nobody dares to ask. Then we can close here. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Pramanandi Mantakalbata Rupiyastak Pasindu Patitam Pavanipyo Vaishnava